Hello, fellow peasants. Today I'm going to be ranking the Omen Trilogy. You guys voted for this here on the channel on the community section. It was a bit of a landslide, so here we go. Number 3, the Omen 3, The Final Conflict. This has Sam Neill in it. He's an adult now. He's working in politics. He's now, because if you watch the second film, Damien kind of comes into understanding who he is and embraces it. And in this film, he fully knows that he's the Antichrist. What I like about this film, what I like about The Final Conflict is it really stays true in terms of cinematography, the look, the world, just the environment is very consistent through these first 3 films. Every film has the same style of cinematography, has that weird glow look to it. And all 3 reside in this world of prestige, nice mansions, nice dinners, fancy estates, it just really has an elegant vibe to it. All 3 of these films do. And I like the fact that this film, even though it's the 3rd installment, still carries that feel, and you still feel like you're in the world of the first film in this. I like Sam Neill's performance in this film. I find that it's a little overdone in some parts, especially there's a scene where he's talking to like a statue of Christ or something, and he's just talking to it, and it seems really overacted. He's trying too hard to be creepy, like sound creepy, and I don't think he pulls that off too well. I really like Sam Neill. He's a great actor. He's also in Jurassic Park and a lot of other stuff. He's also in, he plays Woolsey in my favorite show, The Tudors. He's a great actor, but he does a little bit of overacting in this, which is a downfall of this film. The next thing I like about the film is going back to the look and staying in the world of the first 2 films. There's a scene in this movie where they're doing they're out on the grounds of this estate, and they're running these hounds. And just the look of that is really cool. It's a very British scene. It's foggy out. It's late fall. The leaves are falling off the trees. And you have these basset hounds, these dogs out running around. And I don't know. There's something about that scene I really like. It just seems very, very English, very British to me. And I really dig it. That's really it for what I like about the film, because the ending is less, it's just not very desirable. So the ending, you think it's going to build up to something, it's going to be more, but literally this, spoiler alert, don't keep watching this if you haven't seen the end of this film. But spoiler alert, at the end, the way that Damien dies is just this image of Jesus appears or something, and he's like, no, and then he dies. It's kind of like there's no battle, there's no, you don't watch him rise to. I think it would have been better if you'd have watched Damien rise and fully take over. He hasn't fully taken over the world at the end of this trilogy. I was expecting shit to go down and it just cut off. And you just assume, oh, okay, well, the book of Revelations plays out from here. Well, that's not what happens. This random image of Jesus shows up and kills him. So I thought that was kind of lackluster. And then overall, the story, there's not a whole lot going on in the story. It's just a lot of him slinking around and just talking. slowly plotting like his takeover. He's slowly like amassing this small cult. It's nothing huge. It's not too impressive for the Antichrist, you know. I don't know. It just seems the film could have used a bigger budget, because I think they could have done this on a larger scale if they had a bigger budget. But yeah, that's number 3. Number 2 is actually The Omen 2. My dog's drinking water, if you wonder what that sound is down there. Anyway, so The Omen 2 comes in second place. I really love, once again, the cinematography in this, the fall atmosphere. The fall atmosphere in this is excellent. There's Damien's in his teen years, maybe early teens, mid-teens, and he goes off to like military school, and he starts figuring out who he is. He starts understanding his powers, and once he does understand that, then he kind of embraces it towards the middle to the back half of the film. But just the atmosphere in this, the fall atmosphere is excellent in this. You got him at military school. The leaves are changing. They're falling off the trees. You've got scenes in the snow. It's just, and all throughout the film, you know, once again, these films revolve around the higher echelons of society. Because Antichrist isn't going to come back as a fucking plumber. You know what I mean? Like, he's hard to take over the world when you're the checkout guy at Best Buy's kid. No offense to anyone who works at Best Buy, but I don't think Lucifer is going to come back being your kid, because you're probably not in a position to run the world. So all these movies take place in really rich people's homes. It's just in the 1%'s realm of living, in these films. And so he's often in a really nice military school, a lot of meetings and parties at estates and mansions out in the countryside. I really like the arc that Damien has, because Damien is just a kid in the first film, and he doesn't have an arc. He's too young to have an arc. But in this film, Damien does have an arc, but not in a good way. Damien starts out just a normal kid. He's innocent from his understanding. He doesn't know some of the things he did in the first film, and then by the end of this film, he realizes, oh shit, I'm the one doing this. I actually have these powers, and I'm kind of digging this. I'm kind of liking what this is, because I think at some point in the movie, he goes and reads the Bible. He reads Revelations, and he's like, oh shit, that's who I am. Because one of the leaders at the military school is kind of like Damien's guardian angel or guardian demon, whatever you want to call it. He kind of plays the role of what the nanny is in the first film, or she comes to protect him, watch over him, make sure the plan goes accordingly, all that shit. So this guy's kind of like a similar guy, and he gives Damien the Bible, I think, and has him read Revelations, and he's like, this is who you are, and blah, 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 blah. And yeah, it's really good. The only reason this film is pretty much neck and neck with the first film, in my opinion. The only reason it slides to number 2 and isn't completely tied or even beats the first film is just because there is some fluff. There's just some BS in there about this corporation trying to feed everybody, and there's just this stuff that doesn't really have a whole lot to do with the overall plot, and it loses me a bit. But overall, it's a solid film. I really recommend you watch it. The deaths in the second film are good. There's some good deaths in there. I won't spoil those for you, but it's kind of like some Final Destination shit. And all 3 of these really are kind of like Final Destination-like movies, where it's just heads coming off, car accidents, crap like that, birds attacking you. And number 1 is the original Omen. I don't know. There's not a whole lot to say about this film that hasn't already been said. I've already done a review for this film on the channel / film suggestion video on this channel for the original film. I really like the original film because it's something that hadn't really been thought about before. Yes, it's been thought about because it's in the Book of Revelations, but what I'm talking about is like no one had made a movie yet where the Antichrist came back and rose through the ranks of politics and power and the 1%. And the Omen did that. And it shows what happens when the parents have to figure out, oh shit, like our kid's the devil. What are we going to do about this? How are we going to handle this shit? And so it's a nice perspective to look at that happening through. Once again, cinematography in the original is fantastic. The writing's fantastic. Gregory Peck does a great job acting. Even the child actor who plays Damien, he does a great job. He's creepy as shit. And yeah, I mean, it's the original Omen. It's in my opinion, it's in the top 10 horror movies of all time. So man, it's really getting dark in my house right now. The sun's going down, and it's really overcast and dark. It's maybe it's an omen. All right, guys. So I know this wasn't the most amazing ranking because I literally went 3, 2, 1. But that's what it is. You never know. Sometimes people surprise you, and 3 could have been number 1 for all you know. But you know, it is what it is. That's my ranking. Not too shocking. It's just 3, 2, 1. Bam. But that's it, guys. I appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for more quality content on this wonderful channel. Keep looking for shit to get posted in the community section. I always keep you guys updated when some new stuff's going to pop up. And have a good one, peasants. Peace out. Bye-bye.